J'den Cox, does that name ring a bell to anybody? If you don't know J'den Cox, you should know J'den Cox, but I would understand why you don't. Amateur wrestler. But more than just an amateur wrestler, this guy is special. This guy is a special athlete, a special talent. The first time I heard of him, wrestled at Missouri, and the first time I heard of him was from a Missouri alumni by the name of Ben Askren. And Ben Askren said to me the words that I just said to you, this guy is special. Now, J'den was a freshman, and Chael Snyder was a sophomore. They could have been the same year, but I don't think so. I believe they were both freshmen, and they were on a collision course. Now, they had met up in the Junior Nationals, which is the high school national tournament. So I had a little backstory on these two that I'm not sure that Ben had. And Cox beat him. Cox won the match. But I remember telling Askren, Snyder is going to beat Cox when they meet up at Nationals. And we ended up watching the match together. We were in a suite, and we had a really great time, but they did meet up, and Snyder did beat him. Now, these guys were freshmen, and they were both very good, but they were very good for freshmen, and that was the end of it. Well, a year later, Snyder becomes the world champion. As a matter of fact, I believe it was a number of months later, Snyder became the world champion. Snyder became a world champion his freshman year, just after his freshman year. Cox ends up fifth in the tournament. He gets somewhere beat in the backside. We were all right. He was a good freshman. Got fifth in the country as a freshman. He was really good. Well, Snyder won all the national tournaments you could win after that, and Cox won 3 titles himself. Well, what are you going to do on the senior level? Okay, on the senior level, and by senior level, I'm talking about guys that are pursuing world and Olympic dreams. What are you going to do? Because now they're going to be in the same weight class. They were able to avoid each other. Schneider ended up at heavyweight. Cox ended up and stayed at 197, where they both had first started. They were away from each other. They both never lost again at the national tournament. Both went on to become 3-time champions. Well, when you get to the senior level, now you've got to figure it out because now you both are the same weight. In world competition, which is the exact same tournament as the Olympic Games, it's just what happens in non-Olympic year. So for 3 years, you call it the World Championships. The exact same tournament with the exact same guys under the exact same rules on year number 4 is called the Olympics. But in the sport of wrestling, they do away with 2 of the weight classes. In the Worlds, you will have 8 weight classes. In the Olympics, you will have 6 weight classes. So guys then ended up having to pick weights, which means for guys like Snyder and Cox, they're going to have to go against each other. Cox was at a weight class known as 92 kilograms, okay? 92 kilograms puts him in the middle of being able for Olympic weight to drop down to 86 kilograms or to move up to 97 kilograms. Snyder, who was a world and Olympic champion at 97. Now let's skip Cox. Go down to 86, David Taylor, who was the world champion from the United States, both Americans. And then right back in the middle, if we go back to 92, sits J'den Cox, who is an Olympic bronze, world gold defending. So we've got 3 world champions. Cox sits in the middle of them, but now that weight class is gone. So Cox has to make a choice. Does he drop down and go 86 kilograms, which would mean he has to beat a world champion in David Taylor just to make the team? Backstory on that, he wrestled David Taylor 2 years ago to make the team. He beat David Taylor twice in one day. Very controversial, very close, very controversial, but Cox beat Taylor. The following year, Cox moves up to 92, opens the spot for Taylor. They both win the world championship. Move up to 97. There's Snyder. He wins the world championship. Are you guys understanding this? 3 rates, all world champions, but the guy in the middle has to now either go up or down because his weight class is gone. Doesn't exist in the Olympics. So now the 2 choices he has is this world champion or this world champion. People have been saying from day one, including people in the know that know J'den personally, it's not even a question or a maybe. He's dropping down. He's going to try to take out Taylor. Now, I had a problem with that, and I'm an outsider with no inside information, but I'm just looking back and going, well, wait a second. Cox used to be at Taylor's weight, 86 kilograms, 185 pounds, by the way. I'm going to talk to you in kilograms because that's the way the Olympics does it. Cox used to be at 86 kilograms. He left the weight class. He moved up to 92. Now, he moved up to 92 because he couldn't make 86 anymore. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I saw. That's my opinion, just as a guy that follows the sport. So if he couldn't make 86 2 years ago, and we know as human beings we don't get smaller with time, why would we make believe he could make 86 now? That was just my opinion. But everybody in the knows, no, he's going 86. Cox made his announcement this morning. Cox is going 97, which means the two-time defending world champion, J'den Cox, and the defending Olympic champion, Chael Snyder, will be in the same weight class at the trials. One of them, either the defending Olympic champion does not go, or the defending two-time world champion does not go. It is that cutthroat. It is that tough. In my opinion, is that unfair? Calling something unfair when the rules are explained to you ahead of time and everybody has to abide by them, I think actually takes you out of the definition of unfair. So perhaps I'm using the wrong word, but it's garbage. It's garbage at the highest of levels. The sport of wrestling has cannibalized itself. And now we are going to have either a world champion or an Olympic champion not participating in the games because of the way the process is set. Okay, there's the bad news. Let's get to the good news. Chael Snyder and J'den Cox are about to wrestle 2 out of 3.